Well, Ron touched upon it in the voiceover, Carl. Baseball for the Mets, place kicker for the Houston Oilers, but you decided to stick with soccer, your first love, perhaps, because it certainly wasn't for the money.
No, there was no money, Bill, in soccer at that time. You're right.
We saw pictures of you and Bob Gelker, coach at St. Louis University, the man who started the program at St. Louis University, 5 NCAA championships later, a great influence on you early in your career.
No question. Not only did Bob Gelker have the influence, but when we played, there was all American players. And we had a unique situation at St. Louis University where everyone was either from St. Louis. I think we had one player from New Jersey. And everybody else was from St. Louis.
And that's why it was always difficult for so many teams that St. Louis University beat that were literally players from all over the world, not just the United States, all over the world. It was difficult for them to accept the fact that they lost in their favorite sport, the sport of their culture, to a group of St. Louisans.
Correct. You want me to elaborate?
Please do.
You've said it. You know, the fun part of it was competing against the other teams. And we knew that most of them were foreign players. And they had the skill, the technical ability, and we had the team. And every time we walked on the field, it was a challenge because we knew we were going to be up against somebody who was very good. And yet we also knew that the group from St. Louis was going to win out in the long run.
The United States had a tremendous gap of 40 years between 1950 to 1990, not qualifying for a World Cup. They've qualified for every World Cup since 1990. How has the American player developed so keenly on the international stage?
Well, partially the exposure to the American player to the European game. We have players who've gone over and played. A fellow at St. Louis University, it kind of breaks my heart, but Brian McBride broke my scoring record at St. Louis University. He played over in Europe and had a great career. I think the exposure to a higher quality game and the ability to see and get coaches to come from Europe and abroad to come and teach.
Not just the overall American player, but in particular the St. Louis player. How has he developed?
Somebody out there have that answer?
Coaching.
Coaching? Okay, Ron said it, coaching. No, you know, for me, the American player has a certain grit about him. And the United States has the talent. It just needs to be developed. And I think in these last few years, we have seen the exposure to a better game. Thank you, Ron, coaching, and a seriousness to take the game to another level by bringing the professional game here in St. Louis, and, professional game in the United States.
Before we get out of here, what are you doing now? Still involved in a sport in any capacity?
No, I've kind of retired from the game. I was coaching for the last maybe 20 years with the Busch Gardens, Busch Soccer Club. Now it's St. Louis Scott Gallagher. So I've been coaching in the club for about 20 years and took off the last couple of years just to kind of slow down and watch the game.
One of the greatest athletes to ever come out of St. Louis. Baseball, football, but in particular soccer. From CBC High School, St. Louis University, justifiable member of the new class, Carl Gentile.